Hello and welcome back. As you can probably tell from my chart here, we are back up and running. Thanks to one of my followers on YouTube, Andras. He found me a nice demo account on, what is it? Oh, Dukas Copy. Dukas Copy is probably the oldest Forex broker like on earth. I mean, I could be wrong, and I'm probably wrong, but it just seems to me like they've been around longer than anyone. And in fact, every other trading platform that does MT4, when you download data for backtesting, it all comes from Dukas Copy. So when you download backtest data, you're backtesting Dukas Copy historical data, just because they've been around for the longest and they've been collecting that data for the longest time. So you can go back many years. Anyway, so I got a demo account running the trade sender. I've got the trade copier running on this account here, which is my live account that we're tracking on here on YouTube and in Myfxbook, and it's working beautifully. So now we're just in the process of recovering. If you look at the balance right now, is 373, and that's just because, you know, we did one closed trade. Now this one here, you can see this trade here. This wasn't a copier trade. This was a decision I'd made earlier. A trade went in and I closed it with profit after I changed my mind and went the direction that I'm going now. I'm not going to get into it, but if you want to know more, just post in the comments and I'll give you some information, and in the comments. But as you can see, yeah, we got a trade closed. And we got 3 new ones open. It looks like we're almost to break even. So there's a pretty good chance that this round is going to end pretty soon. I mean, we might even get lucky and it might end while I'm recording this video, which would be really cool to see. And you won't see any trailing stops or anything like that because the new trade copier is ignoring stop loss and take profit data from the trade information that comes in for FIFO accounts. So I have a mode that says if this is a FIFO mode, or if this is a FIFO account, don't even bother setting stop loss and take profit. Just close the trades on the copier when they close on the master, open the trades on the copier when they open on the master, that sort of thing. But on the master account, of course I have stop loss and I do the trailing stop and the trailing start and everything else. It's just you don't see any of that until something happens with the trade. The trade opens or a trade closes. That's all you're going to see on here. Let's see. So we fixed the airplane. Okay, if you watched yesterday's video, we fixed the airplane. Now we just got to get back to our destination. Right, we're stranded in the jungle somewhere and we need to find our way home and get there. And that's going to take some time. And the other thing, if you notice over here, these trades are 0.02. So after giving some thought to it, I decided to use a divisor of 200 instead of 120. 120 might have worked, but it's just a little bit too aggressive. I'm squeezing every last ounce of margin out of that in order for that to work. Whereas if I'm using a divisor of 200, I've got, well, let me get out of the way here and I can show you real quick. Okay, so here we've got the margin level is 254, which is I mean, I got 3 trades open. So normally, if I was trading 0.03s, that would be probably right now at like 160, 170%. The free margin would be like $100 or less. But I've got plenty of free margin to handle some nasty drawdown. It's going to be safer for us, but the growth is going to be slower. And so there's kind of that trade-off there. But right now I'm more focused on growing this account, I can't say safely because it's still high risk, right? And these settings are definitely high risk. Like I only have 3 trades open at any given time so that I can increase the lot size. But yeah, so this is still high risk. Like we're still going to see some pretty nasty drawdown. Like if this, let's say for example, this one goes against us. We've got the 3 trades open already, and we can still go down like another 160 pips or something like that. But we've got enough margin now that we can withstand all that stuff. But if we do get closed out at such a far distance, and especially if we close all 3 trades, we're going to get wrecked for that time, and we're going to have to, there's going to be a long recovery process. But this, like I said, I want to try and get to 100K as quickly as possible, starting with $250. And so this was what I came up with. And I knew that there was going to be risks, and I knew that there was going to be a really good chance that I won't make it without some serious losses. But we're gonna stick it out, and we're gonna make this work. Besides, this is a good experience for you. You can kind of get a little bit of experience with just the feeling of, okay, this is my money that I'm trading, and yesterday it was at $500 and today it's at like $350. Probably for the first few years of your trading life, the emotions are crazy, right? You put a trade in, 0.01 lots, and suddenly it goes 20 pips against you. You're down, what, $2 or something like that, and it's scary. It's like, well, what do I do? Do I just take the loss and try and recover with a bigger trade later? Or, just you start second guessing yourself, and you start wondering why you got it wrong and all this other stuff. And, it's one of those things where you have to learn to overcome that. You have to figure out a system that works, and then you have to trust the system. Because if you don't trust the system and you let it do what it's supposed to, then you're going to try and second guess it, and you're going to get wrecked no matter what, right? The system could work flawlessly, but your emotions or your greed will keep it from ever working for you, right? So enough babbling about that. Let's look at, so where are we at? We've got $373 balance. We've got 3 trades open right now. And it's looking, actually the price has kind of gone away from the break even right now, but I got a feeling that we're going to be out of this round pretty soon. I hope anyway. And we're back up and running. But I probably need to recalculate the amount of time that I think it's going to take to get back to the high water mark, because we're quite a ways away, right? I mean, the high water mark I think was 497, and we're at 373, so we're down more than $120 from the high water mark. But it's gonna happen. You watch. It's gonna be cool. Just stick with me. Watch how this happens. Experience all the drama that I'm having to go through. So you're not so surprised when it happens to you when you start trading, your own money, right? I think that's all I'm gonna talk about this for today. Let's just leave it at that. We're back on track. We're back up and running. We're using the trade copier now to instead of running the bot directly on the live account, which means I'm controlling the trade sizes. Oh, that's something else that I know I mentioned that I changed my lot divisor to 200, but what that means, I want to be very clear. So my multiplier, my lot divisor, I have it at 200, and although my account balance right now is 373, I do have my multiplier set to 2, but that's just because we're pretty close to $400, and I just want to get us back to 400, and I will leave the multiplier at 2 until we're at, let's say, $600. And once we're at $600, then I'll crank it up to 3, and I'll be more consistent about do it 3 at 600, 4 at 800, and so on and so forth, right? But for now, I'm going to say, well, I'm close enough to 400 that I can have the multiplier at 2, and then I'll just leave it there until I get to 600. I don't want to push it too hard, but I also don't want to hit it too soft, because remember, this is the high risk account. I'm willing to take that little extra risk right there, at least for a time. And if it turns out that, I'm going to monitor the margin level in the free margin, which you can't see because it's behind me. But if it turns out that I'm routinely, consistently above, say, 200% margin level, then I might reduce the divisor, the lot divisor, to say every $150 or every $170 or something to that effect. I'll figure out what it is at the time when that time comes. So that's all I kind of wanted to talk about this for now. We're back on track. We're up and running. We've got we're trading smaller lots because we're using a larger lot divisor, just kind of playing it safe, so to speak, but still maintaining the level, some level of risk. But I want to talk about my other account and maybe see if I can encourage you as an investor, if you're an investor, if you're looking for a way to supplement your income, to check out my account on ZuluTrade and see if you can use that to your advantage, right? And the reason why I ask is because I'm trying to raise money for my business. I want the business to be self-funded. We don't want to take any loans. We don't want to get any donations. I mean, we'll welcome donations, sure, but we're not going to go out and ask for donations. But I know I can make you money, right? And I know if I can make you money, then you'd probably be willing to pay me some of that money that I make for you, right? And so that's kind of the way I want to do this. So I wanted to show you kind of where we're at right now. So I've got this. I'm going to go to the Myfxbook. Okay. And this is not the Myfxbook for the high risk account, right? If you can see here, this goes way back to March. So this has been running for 9 months. And if you look, it started with $1,000, and in 9 months it's made over $800 profit. Okay, so that's crazy. I mean, by the end of the year, we're probably going to be close to double the account. And if you look at the drawdown, we're talking 7% drawdown with 80% profit. I mean, it doesn't get much safer than that. If I go down to too far. If I go down here to the first month was kind of a fluke. I had some settings that were a little bit too aggressive, and then I toned it way down. But these numbers, so 15% gains on the first month, 7% gains in the second month. This is month over month. That means from whatever the balance was here, I gained another 7%. My balance in April was 7% more than that. And here it's 7% more than the previous month. So this is month over month gains. And so what happens over time, because this is a signal account and I don't ever increase the lot sizes, the month over month gains goes down over time, but the dollar amount actually stays about the same. And so, this guy's doing really good. We're already into December, one day into December, and we're already a little ways above November's gains, right? So this thing is doing absolutely wonderfully. And if you're interested in not necessarily trading for yourself, having an investment that's, pretty safe. I mean, I can't guarantee that you're going to get stinking rich or anything like that. But if you play it safe, you can make, with just a few $1,000s invested, you could easily make a few $100s a month on top of whatever you make at your job or your business or whatever. And if you have more leverage than what I'm trading at, because I'm running 50 to 1 leverage, you don't even need as much money to get started, and you can make a higher percentage of gains. But of course your drawdown is going to increase. But when you consider, I'm looking at 7% drawdown, that's in 9 months. Right? The most drawdown that I've gotten in 9 months is 7%. You know, nobody's going to freak out with a 7% drawdown if they're making 80% over the course of 9 months. I always put a link to the signal on ZuluTrade. I don't know the whole process. I've never signed up as an investor on ZuluTrade because I'm a trader on there. So I don't know what the process is, but I imagine you sign up, you tell them you want to follow my signal, and then you open an account with them, and I'm not sure the exact process, but it's got to be pretty simple. If you know how to set up MetaTrader on your computer or on a VPS, it might be just something just as simple as that. But ultimately, I'm trying to raise money for the business, and I want to do it in a way that's beneficial to the people who are helping me raise that money. And I think that this is a good way for that to happen. So, you know, I'll leave that to you. The links are in the description. I think I even have a link. I'll try and put a link. I'll try and remember to put a link to the Myfxbook for this account on there as well. Okay, so let me get out of here. Okay, so that's really all that I have, and I think, is there anything else that I wanted to talk about? I don't think so. I think the videos are going to be more regular from here on out, just because now that we're kind of back in business. I'm kind of bummed that I can't show the trailing stops and stuff like that, but I do want to make sure that what I'm showing you is the account with the money in it that we're trying to grow to 100K, and so that to me is more important than seeing a trailing stop or stop loss and take profit levels and things like that. Alright, so that's all I have for today. Be sure to like and subscribe, and if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments on this video. I read the comments regularly, and I'll reply as often as, you know, when I'll reply as often as I can. If I have an answer for you, I can reply in the comments. If it's something that might be worth talking about in a future video, I'll make note of that so that I make sure to include the answers in a future video. Alright, so be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.